bottom drain, right? And then there's no chance you're going to lose so much water that it's not coming through the bottom drain, right? So that's another way to kind of do it, but you really don't want to turn your system off for more than a day if you can help it. That's what I'd sort of say. So yes, a green pool would cost you less than a new pump, but having a friend come every 3 days just would be cheaper than a green pool. That's what I'd sort of say.
For the system in general, understanding the whole system in general now.
Yep.
The water comes. How does the water? What's the flow of the water itself? Like the water comes from there, goes to the pump.
Yep.
Pump doesn't filter until we turn on the filter, right? Like
so your filter isn't turned on or turned off. Your filter is just on. So if the pump is off, the filter's doing nothing, the heater's doing nothing. Nothing works unless the pump is on. Okay, the pump is on, it's an impeller, so it's pulling. So we call from the skimmer to there, the suction side, and then from the pump and back, the pressure side, right? So you turn the pump on, so it suctions in the water from either the skimmer or the bottom drain, right? So it's flowing into there. Now that it's in there, it goes through the impeller, which then pressures it, right? Pressures it up through your filter, okay? And then through the filter, through your heater. And even if your heater's not on, now it's just plumbing.
It's just bypass.
That's right. Okay. Well, it doesn't bypass. It goes through it, but there's nothing heating it. Like there's a heat exchanger in there. Unless your heater's turned on, it's not heating. So now it's just plumbing, right? Comes through here and then comes out here. Okay. Right? So then it's either, these are your returns. So I don't know which is which, but like stairs, deep end, shallow end, slide. But now it's pressuring it back, right? So it suctions in and then pressures out.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So now that we've closed the bottom drain and we're going to vacuum. You're trying to be cost efficient with everything. So this guy, just so you know, this works. I've used it. It's in rough shape. However, if you care or you want, you can cut this off, buy a new end piece, and then you just marine silicone grade twist it on.
Yeah.
It's not very complicated. It's like 20 bucks. But with that being said, this still works.
Okay.
So it's up to you guys, okay?
And what do you call this end? Do we
hose end?
Hose end.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
okay.
I'm sure there's some like name, but just say it's the end on the hose, like
for pool.
In-ground pool.
In-ground pool.
Yeah, in-ground pool hose.
In-ground pool hose.
Yeah.
Just the end, and we can get that from Crevco. From
Any of them. Any of them. Yeah, it's a common piece. Okay, so when you go to put your vacuum in, like I'm just emptying it now. So normally, right, this is empty, this is full of air. Okay, this end can twist. So this end always goes on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's connected, plug it in there, and then this part it's important but not the end of the world if you don't do this, but what you want to try and do is when you put it in, you want to get as much air out of the hose as possible, because the more air that's in the system, the worse the system works, right? So what I like to do is I take it, I put it here, and then all you're doing is just pushing it down, right? Because that just pushes the air back out of the hose, right? The pressure of the water. So you just push it directly down. But at the end of the day, if you don't do it properly, right, and air is still in the line a bit, what you'll just need to do is you'll even hear it in your pump. You'll just have to wait until you see some air shoot out of your jets. Okay. Once that air shoots out, the air is now out of the system. Your system is now primed. Okay, cool. Okay, so you get to the end here, and then all I like to do is I stick it under, get some bubbles out. All right, get some bubbles out, push through here, and then you just connect it right into the skimmer. Now the only time I wouldn't, and see how it's pulling, like it's already, okay? So the only time I wouldn't do it directly to the skimmer is if I can't see the bottom. That's when I use this. And so that end would connect to that, and I would put it over this. So that way, if there's something like something big that can get, because the last thing you want is something gets stuck between here and the pump. right? Because then you got to break cement. Then it's expensive.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure, you put that in there, you connect the hose to here, and it clamps like that.
Yeah.
So then the worst thing that can happen is that something gets stuck in here.
Not
That's
passing
right.
through
That's
the,
not the end of the day, right? This is $100. Breaking cement is too much. So if I can see the bottom like I can see your pool, there's nothing I see to be worried
like
about.
a big piece of steak or
Like a big stick, an acorn, a mouse, right? If you can't see it, right, and if it's a big enough stick, right, and it gets stuck, because they'll get stuck on the 90s, right, on the turns. There's only so much you can do about that.
Yeah.
But little leaves, little seeds, they're
That's
fine.
fine.
That's right, exactly. So that's all. That's the only time really use this, okay? Now, once you're vacuuming, you have it long, and kind of if you want, what you want to do is you want to go slow and steady, not too fast, because if you push, then it goes away. So you kind of want to go at like some people like think of it almost meditatively, which I think is a bit of an exaggeration, but you're kind of just going back and forth like that.